The NFL is horrified of this. In today's video, we will be putting a spotlight on one of the Commanders' longest tenured players, the type of offseason they're having, and what they can bring to the regular season. We're going to be talking about Daron Payne. I'm your host, Azael Mejia, with Commanders Digest, reporting everything on Washington Commanders offseason, regular season, and everything in between. So we want to be caught up to date, everything Washington Commanders. Make sure to run it up, subscribe right here to the channel. Like I said in the intro, this video will be putting a spotlight on Daron Payne, on the growth, the positive impact he's had on the team, the culture, the locker room, his personal growth. We're going to be looking at some quotes from, his head boss, the head honcho, the Washington head coach, Dan Quinn, on what he had to say about him recently. And we're going to be comparing his stats from last season, what he can bring to the table this upcoming season, everything. We got the quotes, we got the stats, we got all the research done. But before we dive into it, if you're a new watcher, if you're a new visitor to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because we do have a subscriber goal of trying to hit 500, yes, 500 subscribers by week 1 of the NFL season. Week 1 is in 13 weeks. I know we can do it because everything has been in the green. Everything's been up. We have been running it up, all the stats. If you know football, the next gen stats, we have been running it up. So appreciate that. Just subscribe right there. And if you are a returning viewer, make sure you are subscribed, because 87.5 of y'all who are watching the videos are not subscribed. That's crazy. Because if for the free skis, it doesn't charge you anything, and it takes like 2 seconds. So I really appreciate that. If you can do that for me, please and thank you. The video is about Daron Payne. If you need a refresher, because it is offseason, he was drafted by Washington. Almost made the mistake. I'm going to say the Commanders. If you know, was it the Commanders back then? This was in the era where they were switching their name every year. So Commanders, football team, Washington, not going to say it, don't want to get in trouble. But yes, he was drafted by Washington back in 2018 in the first round. We talked about it. We talked about McLaurin just recently in the previous video. If you haven't seen that video, go watch that one after this one. But Daron Payne was drafted right before him. And he, like I said in the intro, he is one of the longest tenured Commanders players, because he's second. The first one is Tress Way, who was drafted by Washington back in 2014. So Daron Payne is the second longest tenured player. Once he laces up his boots, once he takes that first defensive snap, he will hit 8 years, 8 seasons in the NFL with the Commanders. He's been very loyal. We said about McLaurin in the previous video. We're saying about Payne this video. He's been very loyal. He was with the Commanders, with Washington, the good, the bad, the ugly. He was there for the old regime. 1 year more than McLaurin was. Old regime. He was there at the end of their bad regime when it got really messy. The COVID years, 2020, 2021, no fans, restrictions, yada, yada, yada. And now he's reaping the benefits. They had one of their best seasons that the Commanders have had in a very long time. So it's great to see that. And he's making good improvements. Like I said, we're going to look at some quotes. And it's great to see, because this isn't a guy who's a rookie, second, third year. No, this is a guy hitting his 8th season and still making improvements, finding ways to improve his game. It correlates with the storyline for the Commanders. It's just trying their best every single day to find weak patches within the team and trying to fix that. If Daron Payne gets better, the Commanders get better. So that's great to see. We love to see someone who, because how do I say this in a PG way? We're going to curse for a second, but someone, he's not 50-50ing it, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, okay, I'm a locker room leader. No one's going to tell me what to do. I'm just going to do, halfway. I'm not going to put full effort. He's putting 100% effort. And he's the locker room leader. He's been there. He has to be the locker room leader because he's been there second longest there. So he has some pull in the locker room. But for him to still be going at 100%, still finding ways to improve his game is very important. Vital to not only him, but the coaching staff, to other players coming in. If this guy's working hard, that means I got to work harder. We are going to, and it sort of correlates. We mentioned it in other videos on the channel, the type of environment AP, Adam Peters and gang are trying to make within the culture, within the locker room, is to always get them, hyped up, always got them working, because just because you were the guy last season don't mean you're going to be the guy this season. So everybody's spot is questionable. It's about who can perform the best, who can give the Commanders the best chance of winning, repeating their success, and maybe doing a little bit better than last season. But like I said, we will be looking at some of his stats. 17 games. Clap it up, 17 games. I don't see a lot of people putting emphasis on it, but this is the year I'm putting emphasis on how many games played, because 17 games is a lot of games. No matter how you look at it, it's not two-hand touch. It ain't flag football. These are grown men hitting each other. top speed, 200, 300 pounds. And sometimes not 1v1, it could be 2v1, you know, a pile of people just. So I'm pretty sure Daron Payne knows he's been on the bottom of some pile. So I know this is going to be the year people put emphasis on how many games being played. They should be rewarded for that. 17 games. He played 7 seasons. He's going to hit 8 in this new upcoming year. 17 seasons, 17 seasons. 17 games played in his 7th season. That's great. Clap it up for him. 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 22 solo tackles, combined 42 tackles, 7 quarterback hits, and he averages about 7 hits per game. 6'3", 28 years old. He just turned 28 a couple days ago. So if you made it this far into the video, comment down below. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, Payne. He just hit it a couple days ago when I was doing the research for this video. Like I said, we got some quotes from the head honcho, the head boss, Washington head coach Dan Quinn, on what he had to say recently when watching them during OTAs and offseason training. I walked past him today. I said, man, you've had a remarkable offseason. I felt the way through the drill work, through the skill, and everyone just sees something that jumps out differently that's onto a new space. Like I said, we mentioned it already. This is a guy who could easily, he got a new contract back in 2023. I believe it's 4 years. He could be like, I don't got to work as hard. I'm the locker room leader. Who's going to tell me to work hard? But AP has created that environment. Dan Quinn, he's a founding father of this new era that you got to work for your position. Just because you've been here the longest, just because you know the building, because you've been here the longest, doesn't mean you have a rightful spot you don't own. Everything's earned and not given. So to see that is great, that he's still willing to work hard heading into his 8th season. And it trickles down. If you see one of the longest tenured players working, you're like, oh, I gotta work. So it's great to see having that fire. And we talking about fires, that's the next quote we got from Dan Quinn. Once the fire is lit, man, you just want to hit it. I've really sensed that from him. The questions, the understanding of the defense, how good a shape he's in. So he's off to an excellent start. There's no dumb questions. It's not a Commander's video, a Commander's Digest video if there's not quotes thrown in there. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Even heading into his 8th season, he's still questioning this, he's still questioning that. That's great to see. He's still learning. You can never stop learning the game of football because it's always evolving around the schemes, around the system. So it's great to see. They say what? Old dogs can't learn new tricks. Not calling them old. I'm not. But you know the TikTok brain rock kids, they see 28. Oh dang. But nonetheless, I don't think that. I think he still has much to provide for this team. He still plays at an elite level. And then we mentioned in the channel before, you can't buy experience. So to see him still working hard in the offseason, it's just going to correlate towards the regular season. And we mentioned it for other players. But if Payne works hard, if Payne gets better, the Commanders are gonna get better. It's just simple as that. Simple framework. You know, you add to his attributes, it's gonna add to the attributes for the Commanders. And it's something interesting to note is that this is gonna be his first time ever playing without Jonathan Allen. Yes, Jonathan Allen left in the offseason, so he won't have him by his side. So maybe that's sort of motivation that like, oh, this guy was the guy. He was my partner. He was my, whatever way you look at it, the Batman Robin, or Robin Batman, whatever way you look at it, they were a duo. They were a dynamic duo. You have him leave, so now you got to be that guy that steps up to be the leader, and it makes sense. Second longest tenured player there. He's going to have to step up. He's going to have to make those hard decisions when it comes to the defense, and I truly do believe he can make an impact. He's looking strong in the offseason, so he's only going to get better as the months go on, and it's just great to see. You have the new talent. The defense is starting to line up really well with draft younger guys in between. They're finding out which guys mesh well together. You have Daron Payne. You go get Javon Kinlaw from the Jets. You draft Kane Marano. There we go. Marano. There we go. You got Trey Amos. You go get Marshawn Lattimore in the trade deadline last season. You have all these different Frankie Louvu. You have Bobby Wagner. You resign him. You have all these different defenders at different positions that are starting. You got to find out which guys mesh well together. It's only going to succeed if, like I said, Payne to get better, the Commanders get better. And he is making great strides in the offense. That's great to see. He's hitting his 8th season, so for him to still be improving, it's just good. If Payne gets better, the Commanders get better. We'll see. They're not meant to do that, but before we end this video, subscribe. Just make sure you subscribe. Hopefully you did. If you didn't get the first warning at the beginning, now this is your opportunity, the second chance. But if anything breaks within the Commanders atmosphere, you know it's going to be covered right here on the channel. I'm Azael Mejia with Commander's Digest, and I'll see you in the next video.